It's time to duel!
Welcome everybody to a deck profile with a 60 card Sky Striker deck. Now first we got 2 Effect Veilers. We got 1 Maxi, 2 Ash Blossoms, 3 Sky Striker Raye, and 1 Sky Striker Roze. Now the main thing we're going to do in this deck is getting spell cards to the graveyard so we can have additional advantage during the battle phases. So first we got Dark Hole, Raigeki, Harpies, Card Destruction, Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial, Reinforcement of the Army so we can deck search for Raye. We have 3 Toon tablet contents. It's just to get that additional spell card to the graveyard. Now we have Reasoning. We have Terraforming, Monster Gate. We're going to tribute a monster, then keep sending cards from the top of the deck to the graveyard until we reach a monster that could be special summoned. Pot of Avarice, Galaxy Cyclone. Now this gets sent to the graveyard even if it's there. If your opponent has a face up field spell or spell card or trap card, you can use this card in your graveyard by banishing it and destroying that face up card. Foolish Burial Goods. We can send a spell or trap card from the deck to the graveyard so we can grab a Sky Striker card out later with their abilities. Limited to 2 Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. We're going to deck search for a Sky Striker card from our deck. Then if we have 3 or more spell cards in our graveyard, we get to draw a card. We have Afterburner. If we control no monsters in the monster zone, we can target a face-up monster on the field and destroy it. Now if we have 3 or more spell cards in the graveyard, we can destroy 1 spell or trap on the field. This is why we're just discarding most of our deck to the graveyard. You're going to see why later on. We have Sky Striker Maneuver. This one targets a set card your opponent controls and destroy it. If you have 3 or more spell cards in your graveyard, we can destroy 1 monster on the field. We have Scissors Cross. If we control no monsters in the monster zone, we can target one of our Sky Striker Ace cards in the graveyard and add it to the hand. Now, if we have 3 or more spell cards in the graveyard, we can special summon it. We got options when there's 3 or more spell cards in the graveyard. 2 Lightning Storms. 2 Triple Tactics Talent. Their field spells Sky Striker Airspace. We have Sky Striker Multirole. Once per turn we can target one other card we control and send that to the graveyard. Also your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to your spell cards activations for the rest of the turn. Really good card. We have 3 limited removals because our link monsters are machines. 2 Forbidden Chalices. We can target 1 face-up monster on the field and negates its effect, but it gains additional 400 attack. 2 Caught by the Graves. Limited to 1 Sky Striker Hornet drones. Now this card special summons a token onto the field as long as we don't have a monster in the main monster zone. If we have 3 or more spell cards in the graveyard, the token becomes 1500 instead. Really good card. We had Sky Striker Widow Anchor. If we control no monsters in the main monster zone, we can target 1 effect up monster on the field and negates its effect. And if we have 3 or more spell cards in the graveyard, we can take control of that monster until the end of the phase. Really awesome card. That's why it was limited to. We got 3 Sky Striker Eagle Booster. If we control no monsters in the main monster zone, we can target 1 face-up card on the field, target it, and it's unaffected by other card effects until the end of the turn. Now we have 3 or more spell cards in the graveyard can't be destroyed by battle this turn. So this is a real protector for your Sky Strikers. We have Sky Striker Shark Cannon. We can target a monster in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. Now we have 3 or more spell cards in the graveyard, we can special summon that monster to the field. And 1 Forbidden Droplet. Now on to the links. Now, Kagari. While there's spell cards in the graveyard, this card gains 100 attack for each spell in your graveyard. When you link summon this card, we can add a Sky Striker spell card from the graveyard to our hand. We have Sky Striker Shizuki. Our opponent's monster loses 100 attack and defense for each spell card in the graveyard. This is why it's a 60 card deck. It's insane. Now, once per turn during the end phase, after you special summon this card, we can add a Sky Striker spell card from our deck to our hand with a different name from the one in our graveyard. Really good card. Now this is Hayate. Now this card can attack your opponent directly. Now all he has to do is battle and he gets his effect, and we can send a Sky Striker card from our deck to the graveyard. Now we do run Sky Striker Kani. When this card is special summoned, we can target one face-up monster our opponent controls and it can't attack until the end of the turn. Then we got Christian Hyperfabrics. We got Ziki. Now this card is quite unique. Once per turn, you can send a card you control to the graveyard and this card gains 1000 attack. Then we can target one face-up monster on the field and banish it until the end of the opponent's next turn. It's crazy, this card. It's underrated, but it does require 2 monsters. The rest only required 1. Then we got Celine, Apollonius Bowl, and Underworld Goddess. Now normally you would have access Cold Talker in this deck, but I haven't gone to craft it yet. Soon I'll have it, but an advice is to actually have access Cold Talker in this deck as well to make it that more powerful. It's really good, these Sky Striker decks, especially when you got tons of spells in the graveyard. Really good. I hope you enjoyed the deck. Give it a spin, and like always, stay safe, have fun. H out.
Bye.